What's going on, guys? Mega Gig back with another video. Let's make sure we're recording. We are talking about the next patch coming up, the patch 2.6.1 that'll be going on the PTR server soon. And a few of you may be wondering why or what happened to the original video. So I was completely blind and missed something totally exponentially huge. So I'm just remaking this video. Took that video down. It wasn't up for very long. And we're going to be discussing the buffs to the Barbarian today. And they are major, guys. They are absolutely major. And other classes are getting changed and buffed as well. And if you guys want me to do a full patch overview of 2.6.1, let me know. But today we're just going to be talking about the Barbarian. So let's get into it. And this is as of yesterday, August 15th. Today is the 16th. And wow, I can't believe I missed this one thing. I feel like smacking myself. And anyways, let's start. We'll go over the Barbarian skills that are being changed. It's only one of them, Battle Rage Bloodshed. It's been completely redesigned. Let's take a look at the original here. The Bloodshed rune critical hits cause an explosion of blood, dealing 20% of the damage done to all other nearby enemies. So 20% of each critical hit explodes. Each critical hit explodes and does 20% of that crit damage to nearby enemies. So the reworked version deal damage equal to 20% of your recent critical hits to enemies within 20 yards every second. I don't really know how often recent means, if it's all your critical hits within 1 second or 2 seconds or 5 seconds, but basically let's say it's 1 second to go along with this. We'll just use the whirlwind set because that's what I have, and that's my main set here. So all the critical hits you do in 1 second, we'll say you hit 5 critical hits in 1 second. It combines all those critical hits, all that damage, and then you deal damage equal to 20% of that chunk all together within 20 yards every second. So I think that's a pretty big buff. Of course, it's not just to the whirlwind, it's to the Bloodshed rune for Battle Rage. So this is going to work with Leapquake. It's going to work with all the Barbarian builds. Now moving on to items here. Where was it? Here we go. The Barbarian items that are being changed. Bracers of Destruction, Seismic Slam deals, it used to deal 300 to 400%, now it's 400 to 500% increased damage to the first 5 enemies hit. So that's a pretty big buff there. Bracers of the First Men, Hammer the Ancients, attacks 50% faster and deals now 300 to 400% increased damage. Another nice buff there. I've never done a Hammer of the Ancients build, although I've always kind of thought it would be interesting. So maybe after this buff, I'll see what's thrown together out there. Maybe I can throw something together. We'll see. Fury of the Vanished Peak no longer rolls legendary strength bonus to Seismic Slam damage as an inherent affix. Can still roll 10 to 15% as a random affix. Reduction of Fury cost of Seismic Slam by 50% now, and increases its damage by 400 to 500%. Existing versions of this item will also be changed to include the damage roll on the orange text, but will always roll a damage roll equal to the previous maximum possible. So it's kind of going to be like not a legacy item with Fury of the Vanished Peak. Some changes are going to be implemented, but the damage will be the same as the previous item. So I don't know if the original will be better or not, but yeah. Gavel rather of Judgment no longer rolls legendary strength bonus to Hammer the Ancients damage as an inherent affix. Can still roll 10 to 15% as a random affix, and then of course it took out that part, and then the new part, damage to Hammer the Ancients is increased by 400 to 500% and returns 25 fury if it hits 3 or fewer enemies. So that's kind of nice there. Girdle of Giants, Seismic Slam no longer deals 80 to 100%, now deals 200 to 250%, or increases the earthquake damage. So that's going to be a pretty big buff to the Leapquake Barb build. Here's one I'm super stoked about. Increase the damage of Whirlwind from Skull Grasps 250 to 300%. And of course I'm using mine in the queue because I don't have a better one, and that's I'm getting the 300%. Now it's going to deal 400 to 500%. So that is a big buff from 300 to 500%. That's 200 more percent. And then finally, Standoff. Furious Charge deals increased damage 200 to 250% no longer. Now it's 400 to 500% of your bonus movement speed. That's another big buff. So these changes are great and are welcome. Now this is where I ended the video last time. Basically, I did a little more discussion, but then it ended. And I was so excited about this stuff, I didn't even bother to go down and look at the set item changes. This stuff is just amazing, guys. This stuff is amazing. So Barbarian is finally getting the buffs he deserves, and he may actually be equal or on par to other classes in the next patch, or at least, you know, it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be fun, I think. So Barbarian, the Immortal Kings set. Basically, while both Wrath Berserker and Call of the Ancients is active, it's no longer a 400% increase. It's now a 750% increase. That's pretty big. Might of the Earth, the increase in damage to Earthquake, Avalanche, Leap, Ground Stomp, Ancient Spear, and Seismic Slam is no longer 1200%. It's 3000%. So that's more than double. Unlike this, it's a little bit less than double. Still a huge bonus. Legacy of Raykor. Furious Charge now deals 500% increased damage. Every use of Furious Charge increases the next Fury spending attack, and this is the deal that stacks. It's now not 750%, it's now 1500%. So a direct double buff. Now here's the exciting one, guys. This is huge. As Donald Trump would say, huge. Or however, I don't know. I'm not very good at impressions. Whirlwind gains the effect, blah, blah, blah. No longer 800%. It's now 1700%. More than double the bonus, guys. Holy cow. Now you'll remember before Wrath of the Waste got changed, Whirlwind, it wasn't Whirlwind damage that was buffed, it was just the Dust Devils that were buffed up to, I think it was 1600%. That doesn't really matter though. It got buffed to 800%, but it was all Whirlwind damage, not just Dust Devils. Now it's all Whirlwind damage still, Dust Devils and Whirlwind, but it's no longer 800%, it's now 1700%. I did already take down the other video. Props to the guy that pointed this out to me, that I completely missed this. I feel like a complete idiot. But props to you for bringing this to my attention. And that is huge, guys. That is a huge buff. So we're getting a... Remember, Skull Grasp is a separate multiplier than this. So this is going to be over double buffed. 800 to 1700%. And then that 1700 is going to be buffed not by 3 but 500%. And then we're also getting the change to Battle Rage, which I think will end up being a buff overall. This could indeed, guys, be a huge game changer for Barbarian. The most I've been able to clear right now is an 88. If I had a completely, with my gear right now and my Paragon levels, if I had a just a stupendously perfect Rift run with density, shrines, and everything, I could probably push a 92 if everything worked out perfect. I've got the toughness for it. It's just the damage. I could probably push a 92. That's not about it. Is 4 levels higher than what I did now. With these buffs, I could probably just jump right into a 92 right now and more than likely destroy it. We'll have to see. I mean, it's just maybe I'm a little overexcited or overzealous about it, but we'll have to see. But it is an exponentially huge buff guys, to the Barbarian. Now, other classes are getting buffs too. If you guys want me to go over the entire patch, I will. That could be kind of a lengthy video, and I don't know entirely. Think about things like the Wizard and the Demon Hunter. My Wizard and Demon Hunter aren't maxed out. I don't have all the builds and all that stuff, and I don't play them very often as of right now, so I couldn't give you all the comparison details, but I could go over the patch if you guys want me to. But yeah, between these this set change, of course all the set changes, the item change, where was it, a little bit further, yeah, there we go, the item changes to go along with that, and then the Battle Rage Bloodshed change. I think this is just going to be a pretty big game changer for the Barbarian. Now remember guys, this is for patch 2.6.1, which will be hitting the PTR in the next few days, maybe a week. I don't know exactly when, but again, that's the important part right there. PTR, Public Test Realm, meaning that all of these things are subject to change. The Barbarian could end up being too powerful, which I don't really see as being a problem when you've got things like when you've got like the Necromancer and the I don't know, the Witch Doctor and the Wizard, you know, doing the crazy things that they do. I don't know if you could really say that it's going to be overpowered, but these things are subject to change. We won't know exactly how it's going to react with the game until we get it completely live on the live server. One thing to note, it says bloodshed caused performance issues when encountering high enemy density, particularly when combined with Whirlwind, Pain Enhancer, and the Toxin Gem. Now, something interesting to note is super high density, especially with Whirlwind, has always caused lag. Even on my system, I build custom computers, and I've got a great system. It's not the best in the world, but it's a great system. And I get lag from time to time too. I think it's just between the game engine itself and the server just not being able to keep up with what's going on in the game. It doesn't really have a lot to do with your graphics and processing power. It does to an extent, but the real limiting factor is on their server and their game engine side. But guys, these are some awesome changes. Again, thanks to the guy that pointed out the set changes. I completely missed it. I feel just like a total numbskull. One thing I do wish they would have changed, besides just directly buffing it. Let's find the set bonuses again. Here we go. So the only change they've made here is to the damage. It's just a direct damage buff. Unfortunately, we're still stuck with the 2-piece set bonus. Increase the damage per second of rend by 500% and its duration to 15%. Guys, we've talked about rend before. It's a useless skill, mainly because it takes you out of Whirlwind for such a long time to cast it, and it doesn't really add that much damage. I really wish they would somehow change the 2-set bonus, maybe to incorporate where Whirlwind hits automatically cast rend on enemies, something like that. Maybe you could take the duration buff out, but you could say it's automatically, you automatically rend enemies you're hitting while whirlwinding, something like that. I think that's something that needs to be looked at besides just a direct damage buff. The set does need to be slightly reworked. The 4-piece set and the 6-piece set bonus don't really need to be changed. But the 4-piece set bonus, your rends deal triple damage. Again, you're not using that because more than likely when you're pushing really high, you're not going to be using rend. It's just kind of useless. So I don't want the set to be just completely thrown aside and completely reworked, but I think the 2-piece, the whole rend skill needs to be reworked into this build, either taken out completely or reworked into where it's going to be useful somehow. But still completely welcome this buff along with the others, guys. That is a huge buff, and then the buff to Skull Grasp as well, and the buff to Battle Rage Bloodshed. I don't actually have a Barbarian. I actually don't have any characters really leveled up on the PTR. I do have a PTR account, but I don't have a whole lot leveled up on there. And the main reason I don't focus on the PTR a lot, I could get a Barbarian leveled up. I could, you know, go through all this and say, wow, look at how strong it is. And then they completely nerf it or change it or whatever when it goes to live. And so the video, while it's fun to do and play with, it's not really the final thing. And so the video doesn't really have a point besides, look what this build could do if all this stuff stayed this way. So if you guys would like to see PTR content, I could start working on, you know, some PTR stuff. But when it comes to changes and stuff like that, they aren't really useful unless you know they're going live. And with this stuff, you know, it's not final until it's final. So yeah, keep that in mind. But if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you guys think of these changes. Let me know if you want me to go over all the other changes. Again, one more time, sorry for those of you that saw the first video and it left out the discussion about the set item changes. I feel completely stupid. Shout out to the guy that pointed it out to me. Let me know what you guys think of these changes. And yeah, leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you want to see more, guys. Thanks, and more good stuff to come. Take care.